Hey guys, how are you? Sorry for the delay. That usually doesn't happen to me, but I got caught up on a phone call. So I am here. I'm here to answer your questions. Just so you know, it does not have to be a yes or no question specifically today. Today it can be any question that you want, and I'm going to pull a card on it. Usually it's yes or no questions, but today is just a one card pull. Whenever you see one card pull any question, just know that you can ask anything that you want, okay? Um, all right, so let's start at the beginning here. Amy, I see you said you're having a hard time. I mean, it can be. I think definitely we would be naive to say that the moon does not have effects on us, and that it doesn't affect like our emotions and things. And I know there's an eclipse going on and all of that. Um, you know, so it could be, but I think part of it is just you're just grieving. So Amy, I have the tower in reverse for you. As a yes or no card, I do have a no. Um, I feel like there's a couple of things going on here, Amy, and we can dig into it a little bit, but just really quickly right off the bat, I feel as though you're holding on very tightly to him through this grieving process. And I think things are hitting you a lot harder because it's been some time since you've actually seen him. And I think the shock has worn off. Um, the tower in reverse talks about resisting change. It talks about trying to avoid a broken heart or delaying the inevitable or mentally ignoring the fact that you've actually lost someone. So I feel like it's possible that things are getting harder, and maybe this person, Eli, is trying not to hang his energy around you much right now. So maybe feeling as though you need to heal and you need to grieve. And so I am getting a no, but I think it's strictly just because it's for your own good, it's for your own benefit. That he kind of pulls back his energy from you, because if you are constantly in this cycle of wanting to talk to him and wanting to be him to be around you, it's very hard for you to move on. And so I think he is trying to put you first by maybe pulling back his energy a little bit. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't hear the things that you're saying. I just think he's trying to give you some space. Asana, I am feeling well. Thank you for asking. God's daughter, what question do you want me to answer? I see a couple questions here. I just need to know which one you want me to answer. Asana, I have a yes. Queen of Swords. Earth Angel, I'm actually getting a yes. I have the Seven of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So there is some type of, I feel, legal attachment potentially between these two people. Um, yeah, I'm feeling like a yes. God's daughter, I have the question, how does Andre feel about me? I have, did Andre make out with those girls because he was trying to move on from me? So which one do you want answered? Asana, that card always pops up in my readings with him. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Empress Tarot, I have a yes. Page of Wands. This is also the card of the root chakra. It's of good news, courage, and optimism. It's one question per person, guys. I keep seeing multiple questions that people are asking. It's one question per person, so make sure that you only ask one question in the chat. Also, I know that sometimes you guys will delete your questions or try to retract your questions, but I work out of StreamYard and it does not do that. So I will see your question and even if you delete them. So I'm not going to realize that you were trying to delete your question or change your question. So just make sure that you're very certain before you start typing what question it is that you want to ask. Shell, it is coming your way, but the Seven of Pentacles talks about needing patience or something requiring patience. So things aren't going to happen for you right away. So I feel confident in saying it's on the way to you. And this card is a yes. So I think there's a great possibility it will arrive this week. But it does come with the message of even if it doesn't, you may need to have some patience regarding the situation. Empress Tarot, thank you for the donation. I'm going to add you to the list momentarily. Thank you so much. Amy says, yeah, for sure. Hey, Smiley. Right, I can kind of sense moments where he's not really around. I don't know if you saw it. I'm sorry to just spam with so much info. I have not seen on Instagram. No, I didn't realize that you messaged me. But I can take a look at it when it's your turn. All right, this is for Smiley. What do I need to be doing this week to make money? So we have Six of Cups, returning to your roots. Okay, so doing something that you've done before to provide an income for yourself. So for instance, if I had a different career, but I needed to make extra money, I might come back to tarot for that with this card, just for a little while to make some extra money. Or I might do hair because I'm a licensed cosmetologist and that's something I've done in the past. So think about what you've done before and how you've made money in the past, and maybe go back to some type of skill or talent that you have. This is essentially just talking about going back to your roots, going back to doing something that you've done before that's provided you some income, especially if you need to make some quick money. Do I have a blessing coming my way? Daisha. Daisha. We have Daisha, what you have coming towards you is what you have put out there. So we have justice, karma. So if you have been a really decent person, a serving, giving person, if you've given, money to people, or if you've done a service for people, or you've been just generally a good person overall, you're going to get what you have given. So justice says you're going to get your justice. You're going to get your dues. If you feel like you've really just put a lot of good energy out there into the universe, the universe is going to give back to you. So I want to say yes, but I think it also depends on what you feel you've done. Have you done good things, done good deeds, been a good person? Then I think yes, you can feel good that you're going to get a blessing coming back to you. Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I have the 10 of Pentacles. I feel like, and also the bottom of the deck, 4 of Cups. I feel like he's refusing other people's offers. He's more in the energy of wanting to, I don't know, it's kind of being phrased like settle down. 10 of Pentacles is very committed. It's like, I want to have a partner. I don't want to entertain myself with other things. And the 4 of Cups here talks about rejecting any advances that other people might be sending his way. So I want to say no. I want to say that he's not talking to other people. All right, God's daughter says 2. All right, so this is for God's daughter. You're welcome, everyone. God's daughter, I am getting a yes. I have Ace of Cups. So starting up new affections or physical affections with someone else because they're trying to start something new. And this is also a yes card for me. You're welcome, Smiley. God's daughter, you should have your question right now answered. I just answered it. You're welcome, Daisha. You're welcome, Elizabeth. All right, I've got a couple people to read for, and then I'm going to go ahead and close the list now. Hey, Marta, get your question in ASAP. I'm about to close the list. I am going to read for Beautiful Love, Bella Luna, Amber, Haley, Ray, and Farheen. Get your questions in the chat ASAP, guys. ASAP. I'm about to close the list. As soon as I post that the list is closed, I'm not taking any more questions. All right, I'm going to answer for Marta, and I'm going to answer for Unfazed, and then I got to move on to donations, okay? All right, beautiful love. Beautiful love. I have Queen of Pentacles and I also have King of Cups. He's not over his most recent relationship. I think that there could potentially still be an attachment to a previous relationship. He may have been married before, or in like a long term connection with someone that has not had closure from. And so this could be like a rebounding situation, or it could be that he's still needing to close out these other chapters first. He may not be potentially very available to this friend of yours. Um, so just keep in mind, there could be some things that still need to be unearthed about this person. Maybe some things that he's keeping hidden right now. Bella Luna. Bella Luna, I have a yes, Knight of Wands. But this energy is that of someone who may want to date you, may want to sleep with you, but may not be committed. So I think you still have to work on your personal energy to bring in a more compatible partner for you. So maybe stay single for a little while longer. Don't settle. Amber, Page of Swords, curiosity. If there's something that you've been waiting on, there may be some delayed news or patience needed. But I do feel like you're getting some new ideas and inspiration. Jot those things down. Be very alert, be very observant in your life. Don't just give yourself to someone, because Page of Swords talks about being guarded or being protective of yourself, being vigilant. So basically, keep your ears open. Maybe don't confide in people as much as maybe you feel obligated to. Maybe you want to tell people things, but maybe just keep those things to yourself. Let people come to you, but maybe not speak those things aloud. Be careful who you're confiding in right now. This is more of a time for you to be observant rather than giving yourself to other people. This is also probably a good time to take up a new hobby or a new skill. Haley Ella. Haley Ella. I am getting a yes. I have the Queen of Cups. I think that the best money will be made from listening to your intuition. Right, hello. I am seeing a yes. I have Three of Pentacles. This is a new position because this talks about apprenticeship or learning a new skill, or growing or studying or putting more effort into something different. So I feel like that's a yes. Three of Pentacles. Beautiful love. Yes, you're right. He was married for a long time and divorced. Just recently ended his situationship with his ex. I told my friend to be careful because it's still fresh since it only ended January. Yep. That's exactly what I was picking up. I feel like he's not telling her everything, and I just don't know why something's off about him. But your reading makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. You're welcome, beautiful love. Yeah, it definitely feel like he's got like this ability to kind of hide things or not be truly forthcoming. I'm not necessarily saying he's a bad person, but I'm saying it's just something to be watchful of. And I definitely was getting a lot of ties to past relationships for sure. And I was sensing that he's had a wife or he's been married before. So I'm glad that that all resonated for you. Haley, you're very welcome. Amber, thank you for the reading. I definitely have been extremely guarded. You're welcome, Amber. All right, this is for Farheen. True feelings for Farheen, please. Javed, true feelings for Farheen. All right, we have Four of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So I can tell this person right off the bat's extremely guarded. They're more on the reserved side. I feel like he likes you. I feel like he views you as a treasure. And we have the Hierophant. So he feels like he identifies with you in some really significant way. This could be due to your upbringing. Maybe you have similar backgrounds or cultures. He feels like you guys get along well, and he feels like you guys are cut from the same cloth. Like he feels like you would make good partners, and that's because you have similarities um, that would make you very compatible for each other. Martha, I am getting a yes. I have the Four of Wands. I think that he feels like it makes your connection much stronger. He's happy that you spoke to each other. And if you guys have told each other you love each other, I do feel like he still loves you. And I feel like he feels this is a step in the right direction. You're welcome, Farheen. Unfazed, I have a yes. Ace of Swords, good communication. People are going to speak very highly of you in regards to your business. They're going to use your words to uplift and spring support to you and your company. You're welcome, Marta. You're welcome. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to our donations. Let me update that really quickly. All right. You're welcome, Unfazed. All right, so we're going to kick this thing off with Amy. And then after Amy, we have Empress Tarot. Remember, you are allowed to add to your reading. I will answer up to 3 questions at a time, and you will not have to be put back into rotation. I will address it during your turn. Anything more than 3 questions in a row, I will have to put you back on the list just because I want to be fair to everyone else that's waiting. We do have an option for you to skip the line. If you want to be first, you can pay $5 to skip the line. Right now, the list is not very long, so I don't foresee it taking longer than about 15-20 minutes before we get to you. If you're not able to wait around for your turn, but you still want your question answered tonight, you can leave your question with me and come back and watch your reading later on when you have a minute. Or, of course, as normal, you can just hang around in the live stream and wait your turn. That's also an option. All right, Amy, that sounds good. Now, do you need me, Amy, to read something on Instagram first? Is that what you want me to do? Paper messages from Eli. Wait, Amber, I'm Aquarius, so I think Page of Swords is my natural personality. Yeah. You're totally right with that. Aw, yes, I like that. That makes me feel like you're in alignment. That feels good. Okay, so honestly, just paper messages from Eli and what he wants me to know. I'm certainly going through very rough parts of grieving, especially with finding more things, even though It's like some micro info. Yeah, just read from Insta first, if that's okay for context or updated info from what I've known and found out about Crystal. Yes, absolutely. Um, let's take a look here. Sorry, I did not realize you had sent me all this stuff. I'm always on my personal Instagram, and so unless I'm actively like checking in on my Luna Affinity Instagram, I don't realize that you've sent anything. All right, Amy, I'm reading now for you, okay? All right, baby. Enjoy your shower. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm about halfway through. Oh, okay. It's interesting that you said um, that the family didn't reach out to the other person, and so she had no idea what was going on with him. She was one of the last few people to find out. Okay. Yeah, I can understand you wanting answers. Oh, I saw your last message, Amy. It's okay. You don't have to worry. Here's what I feel like, Amy. I feel like in response to your last message, I know how to set boundaries, so I will be honest with you. And as long as you're okay with me maybe not getting back to you right away, I want you to know I don't care. I don't care if you write me a whole entire novel. Um, as long as you respect and know that I might not get back to you immediately, you are more than welcome to send as much as you want or as little as you want. And I'm not going to pass any judgment on that whatsoever. So sometimes you just need to get stuff off your chest. And it's nice to kind of like be able to say all of that stuff out loud and know that maybe someone's not going to be able to read it immediately, but eventually they will. And so I want you to know that that is totally fine with me. So as long as we have that respect for each other, and you're like, I respect you and your time, and you know that I respect you and your time, we're good. Like, I don't want you to ever feel like you have to apologize or that you're overstepping. And also, I want you to be at peace knowing that if it's too much for me, or I feel like I'm getting out of my scope of understanding or experience, that I will redirect you to someone else. So I will be honest with you in that. So just always keep that in the back of your mind and know that, like, I will tell you. But one of the main things that I was seeing as I was reading is I was a little worried about that. I was a little bit worried that the lulls that you experienced while he wasn't communicating with you as much was because he was like communicating with this other person. That is something that concerned me, but I'm not going to sit here and assume anything either, because we can't ask him directly. Okay. The only person that can answer those questions for you is the ex herself. She's the only person that you can go to get real life information and the truth about that situation. And at some point, you might feel compelled to do that because you're looking for answers, and you might need to swallow your pride and go there and see if she's willing to have a conversation with you. But outside of that, if that never happens, I think going to a true medium, someone that you can really trust, someone that can give you details and acknowledge things that only you and him knew about, and someone who's really mastered mediumship, I think at that point, you definitely could get some answers that way. My intuition has been wondering if there was someone else, but I think the bond that you guys have has been so strong that it's really overpowered that other situation, that I have allowed myself to not worry too much about it. But it has been in the back of my mind, and I truly wonder if he was in communication with this other person, and during those times when you guys weren't communicating as much, if he was going back to that other situation. And I think that's why when you and I were talking a lot, I was saying, hey, Amy, you need to have a conversation with him. You need to be direct about, like, yeah, you guys haven't defined the relationship, but are you the only person he's sleeping with? Because that has, remember I said, like, that has to do with your own health and your own well-being. And you have every right to demand that he disclose that information to you. Not that you have to know all the nitty-gritty details, not that he has to sit here and really like spell it all out for you, but you do deserve to know. So yeah, but my main thing is that you really either need to go to the source, which is the X, or go to a true medium to get like a real reading. And I think that will bring you a lot of closure. Sorry, I had to make a quick snack because I felt like my blood sugar was dropping little by little. So I'm heating that up right now. But let me grab your paper messages. Empress Tarot. If Empress Tarot is here, you can post your question if you're ready. Yeah, I'm like ravenous all of a sudden. Crystal was telling me if it's true that he was being intimate with his ex or somebody else. I feel like his interaction with you is more emotional and romantic. I would align with that. I definitely feel like that that resonates for sure. Hey, Empress Tarot, thanks for checking in. If you want, you can post your question. You are next. All right, paper messages from Eli. All right, Empress, you got it. All right, so he says reunion cuddle. And so I feel like that's his way of saying, like, I'm giving you a hug. And I want to say virtual hug, but I know that doesn't make sense. He's giving you like a hug from the other side. He's saying, I feel like I got that message last time where he said, we will see each other again. And I feel like he really wants to bring that home. He really wants to reiterate that we'll see each other again. I think that he really hates seeing you grieve for him. I think that he feels he doesn't deserve it. I feel like he passed away with a lot of unanswered questions. And I feel like there was aspects to him and his personality where he clearly didn't tell you everything. And I think that he's feeling a little bit of an imposter because he feels like he wasn't fully open with you. There was a lot that he kept to himself. And I feel like if you go to a medium, she's going to connect with that energy and she's going to say, okay, someone is coming through. She's going to say, I feel like there was a lot of unanswered questions here or something along those lines. And I feel like that struggle is hard because I feel like he's saying I wasn't fully upfront with you and therefore I don't deserve your tears. I don't deserve your sadness, your grieving. And I feel like that could be why he pulls away a little bit when he starts to feel like you're getting more emotional than what he feels he deserves you to have over him. Now, again, he's not saying you shouldn't, he's not trying to invalidate your feelings or anything, but he's saying, I don't deserve this. You're crying and you're upset and you're grieving me. And I was not fully upfront with you about everything. And I think that it's starting to feel to him, wherever he is, that he doesn't deserve your tears. Now he is saying anticipate friend structure. And so I feel like there was like this nervous anticipation of you bonding with his friends, because I think that he knew that there were some things you were going to find out that he wished he could have been the one to tell you. So we have anticipate friend structure. Like I'm in the anticipation of the friends that you will form or the friendships you'll form with my friends. Let's see. Okay, so he's saying open sense, sense, wish, want, expansive. And so we hear open, we hear expansive, we hear wish, we hear want, we hear desire. Like, I feel like there's this desire from him. He wished, I want, I wish that I opened up to you. I wish that I, was expansive in my words, in my vocabulary, and I told you what you meant to me. I wish that you knew that. I know that you sensed it, but I wish that you knew. Like, I wish that I was more forward. I wish I was more upfront. I wish I was more clear, and I provided more clarity to you. She said, I bet he was sweating. That's so funny. So we have, I heard share light introspection, and we also have aware. So I feel like he's saying the things I was not able to say to you are being brought to light. You're becoming more aware of these things, and I think it's making you question our relationship. And I think you've always questioned what I was to you, but I think this is making you wonder even more, and it's providing this sense of uncertainty. But I wish you would know, like, how strong our bond was, that no one can take that away from us. um I think he wants you, because I see the word see, like SEE, like you're visualizing something, and then I also see the word content. So he's saying, like, see content. Basically saying, like, I wish you would have seen, like, how happy you made me, and how just, like, at home I felt with you. I wish you would have known that. I wish you would have seen that. So we have why retreat, salvage, and joy. So the first thought that came to me is, like, he doesn't want, he's saying, why we retreat. So Amy, you initially, I think you felt like you had a place in his life. Now, don't get me wrong, I feel like you questioned a lot. um I feel like you questioned a lot your place in his life, okay? But I think there were very strong points along this connection that you did feel something with this person, and it did feel real. Um, and you felt validated. You felt validated when he would confide in you. You felt validated when he would be intimate with you. You felt validated when his mom, and his sister told you what you meant to him. And you felt validated when his friends told you what you meant to him. And so even though you still questioned all throughout, it's like there were moments in time where you were feeling, okay, yes, this wasn't just in my head. Okay. So he is saying, don't retreat from that. He's saying, why retreat? Don't retreat. Don't go back on, like, all of that. Don't sit here and start questioning those specific things, because that was real. And he's saying, salvage, like, let's repair, let's rebuild, hold on to, salvage, right? Because salvage means don't throw it away, hold on to it. Think about the times where we enjoyed one another, and we spent time with one another, and we had fun with one another, and, like, hold on to those moments. Don't hold on to the times where we laughed, hold on to the times where we celebrated, hold on to the times where it felt like we were soulmates, where we sang together, because he says singing. um, he's saying, hold on to that. Don't completely write me off, or write off what we meant to one another just because you're finding out other information. I'm reading your comments, Amy. So I'm trying to catch up real quick. Okay, Amy, that sounds good. You're very welcome. I'm going to go ahead and get started on Empress now. All right, Empress, we're shuffling for you now. Sorry, I'm like scarfing down food on this live stream. My blood sugar dropped, and either I scarf down food and still do your readings, or I pass out. So I really didn't have a choice. All right, this is for Empress Tarot. So Empress Tarot wants a mini love spread. Amy, yes, that sounds great. You're welcome. I will. I'm just having a little snack right now. All right, so mini love spread, J, Cancer, love option 2. What is he giving to this connection? What is he giving to this connection? Thoughts, feelings, intentions. Are there any blocks? What is the overall energy? Love spread, J, Cancer, and Empress Tarot. J, Cancer, and Empress Tarot. Empress, according to this spread, it feels like you guys are in communication. This feels like a relationship that's in communication. Now, it may not be consistent communication. You might go a little while in between talking, but I feel like you guys are in communication. So if you can confirm that for me, I would like to make sure that I'm okay, inconsistent, right? Because I was going to say, I feel like there could still be some lag in between, but I still feel like, yeah, exactly. Like, it's not like you guys have completely said, I'm no longer talking to you, and they're like, I'm no longer talking to you, and you guys haven't talked for like months and months. So I was going to say, it feels like to me, even if it's inconsistent, that you guys are still talking. Okay. Wow, Empress. it feels like he's coming for you. It feels like Jay is coming for you. And I feel like you're going to be kind of surprised. You're going to have like this whiplash of like, oh shit, like I was not expecting this. Like I feel like you're going to be very surprised. Okay, January, February. I feel almost like he's working. And like maybe he's working, maybe I'm hearing working because he literally is working, but I'm hearing like he's working on himself. And I feel like he's putting in the work. He's like getting his shit together. Like thoughts, feelings, intentions, Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and the Chariot. And that's saying, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, girl. Queen of Pentacles is thoughts for you, is like you're his woman. Like Queen of Pentacles is like, this is someone I could see being my life partner. This is someone I could see being my girlfriend, someone being my fiance, my wife. Like he looks at you that you hold such value, and that he's like, if I can just get there, if I can just make myself ready for this, she's that person for me. So he's saying feelings is that he's starting to get to a point where he's thinking about settling down. He's saying, I want her in my life forever. Like I don't ever foresee him saying, I'm done with this connection. I feel like if so long as you'll have him, he's saying, I'm here for it. And intentions is the Chariot upright. It talks about devotion, dedication. So it's him saying he's devoted to you, even if you don't realize it. It feels like a silent devotion. I feel like he's focused on you. He's saying, I'm coming for you. Like I want this. Now I feel like it's going to catch you completely off guard. Hey James, yeah, you can donate. I feel like the only thing that could hold you guys back or serve as a block or influence over this connection is his past habits, past conditioning. Like, you know how some people are just a creature of habit? They're so used to living a certain way. They're so used to doing a certain thing a certain way, or living a certain type of lifestyle. And even if they're wanting to change, that can kind of creep back in because they're so used to being this way. I feel like that's really the only block that could get in the way of this connection. And as far as like the overall energy, we have temperance, we have balance, we have patience, we have calm, we have compromise. And I feel like with temperance here as the overall energy, it's stating that you guys can find healing in this connection. You added 5 more. Okay, Empress. That sounds good to me, but my questions are different for the love spread. So let me see what questions I have not answered to figure out what questions I can add. Hold on one second. All right, so Empress, I put in the chat strengths, weaknesses, will the relationship be successful, what you want and what they want. Those are the 5 questions that I have not answered that are a part of the in-depth love spread. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and we're going to look into those areas, okay? So, Empress, that kind of was already answered, kind of like with the influences and blocks, because I feel like that could be served as something that you need to know or be aware of. So, remember when I was talking about that he could fall back into old patterns or old habits? And I feel like that was something that was important for you to know. And I feel like that is kind of like what's hidden or what's something that you need to be kind of on standby or aware of. Um, so that's kind of why I left that question out, because I do feel like it was already answered. All right. Well, I like to see you have the Chariot here. The Chariot is back out as far as will the relationship be successful. So I really do like this, because this is yes, the relationship will be successful. No obstacles can really get in the way. So I think the only thing that can get in the way of this connection or not serve this connection is his mentality or your mentality. But there's no external forces, situations, complications. Like, it's not another person, it's not distance, it's not financial factors, it's not children, it's not people involving themselves in your business. Like, I'm not seeing external factors getting in the way. I think the only obstacle that could be formed of this connection is yourselves, like both of you. So if he, falls into his old patterns or his old ways, I think that could serve as a block. But if he wants this and you want this, I don't think anything can stop you guys. So that's good to see. As far as strengths, we have the Magician. So you guys are very powerful people. Like, you're extremely mentally powerful. And um, magical, and I feel like he is too. The magician talks about you guys having everything that you need to make this relationship a success. Um, and I feel like that's a strength because, like I said, nothing can really get in the way. Like, nobody can. I mean, I don't know if you believe in this or not, but I just had a random like example. No one can like hex the relationship. No one can like do anything. You guys are way too powerful. For anything like that to get in the way. It's like, as long as you want it and as long as he wants it, y'all are good, baby. You're good. Now, I do see as a weakness is that you guys can shy away from each other and not actually tell each other how you're truly feeling. This could be perceived as a weakness. You might not be as direct with him as you should be, and he's not as direct with you as he should be. And there's this level of authenticity and vulnerability that you have yet to really show one another. And that could be, if you did, that could be a source of strength. But right now it's being perceived as a weakness. I see him being the King of Pentacles as far as, or I'm sorry, I see you wanting him to be the King of Pentacles. So what you want is the King of Pentacles. You're wanting him to be husband material. You know, you're like, we'll take it one step at a time, but I care about you so much that I want you to be that person for me. I want you to be my man. You know, I want this. And I want you to want to be, and I want you to provide. And I want you to just like be that person, that companion for me. I'm seeing for what he wants is I do feel like he's ready for a wife, like a girlfriend or something. Like, I feel like he's saying, "Oh, I like the idea of that." But he struggles with seeing himself as a husband. I just want to be clear. He struggles with seeing himself as your man. He struggles seeing himself as your boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever. He struggles. He's like, it's easier for me to see you as my girlfriend than it is for me to see me as your boyfriend. Like, I feel like he has a hard time identifying with what being someone's partner, someone's committed partner, what that actually looks like for him. And I think that he struggles with that a little bit. So he's coming through as what he wants is the Page of Wands. He's okay being someone's partner, but as long as it doesn't detract or take away from his own independence, his own, you know, his own passions, and he still wants to be able to be himself. He still wants to be able to follow and pursue what's important to him, his passions, his hobbies. He wants to feel like he's still his own person, even if he's in a committed relationship. And I think that this could have to do a little bit with the examples that he's been shown of committed relationships. It's possible that he's been shown or demonstrated that once you get into a relationship, you don't get to do anything anymore, or like the men in the relationship wither away into nothing and the women control everything. I think it could just be the examples that he's had of couples, because I think a lot of times when men really want to settle down and really want to be in a relationship, it's because they've been demonstrated strong relationships. And I think for him, he may not have necessarily seen good examples. So this could be interfering with him trying to figure out what that means for him. All right, so Empress, that is what I've got for you. I hope that brought a little bit of enlightenment for you. James, we are ready for you, James. You're welcome, Empress. Thank you so much for your patience tonight. I usually get through things a little bit quicker, but that blood sugar drop had me a little nervous. All right, love option 2 for James. We are shuffling for you now. What is Violet Flame? Oh, that's so cool. I'm Do you feel, James, at all that things have kind of slowed down for you and Patty this week? Because I'm getting a couple cards that are kind of like, I don't know. And every relationship ebbs and flows, right? I mean, it's not going to be 100% on 24/7, but it seems like things are a bit quieter this week for some reason, is kind of what I'm picking up. You do feel that way. Okay. I feel like that will resolve itself. Okay. I'm seeing Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, that kind of thing. I think it will resolve itself. I think it's just kind of like, that's just the week, we also have like planetary influences as well. I think someone said there's an eclipse and then a full moon tonight and all that stuff. So there could just be, it just could just be more a quieter week. But I do think it's going to resolve itself, so I don't want you to worry too much. But I am seeing your concern coming through here with the Nine of Swords. It talks about like a little worry, a little negativity. I think you were riding on a high for a little while there. You were riding on like, oh my God, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing all this work, and it's really paying off. And seeing it all in real time was very encouraging. I feel like, we also have to think too that there's free will here, and it shouldn't discourage you from continuing to do the work. I actually think you're very lucky that you were seeing the results in real time as quickly and as often as you were. And I don't want that to discourage you. So I want you to continue to do this work, even though you may not be seeing things like as intense as you have been recently. And I'm sorry too, like, I think I'm having like an allergy attack right now trying to have this conversation. But yeah, I want you to know that maybe she's just feeling a bit overwhelmed right now. She could be having really bad sleep. This card also talks about like insomnia and things like that. So this could just be, maybe it's not her energetic body or her emotional mind. It could be more like her physical body this week could just be going through it. Okay. She could be having trouble sleeping. She could start having anxiety again. She could start letting a little bit of fear creep in. She could be dealing with like medical issues or hormonal change. But I feel like it's more like the physical body this week that she's going through, just feeling like things are very mellow and not as social. Oh, you didn't do as much time with the distance healing. Yeah. I think it's really big that because you have been seeing it work so well and pay off in real time, that you don't stop just because things are going well. Because it might be kind of like I don't know what this like this thing is that I'm seeing. Um it's like something with like a handle and a wheel, and I don't know what it's called, but I'm gonna switch that metaphor to make sense. It's kind of like an elliptical or like a bike or something, right? It's like once you're going, 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 the momentum just keeps going, going, going. But then when you stop, you get off the bike and you get back on, then you got to pedal, and then you got to slowly build up that intensity. And so like every time you take a break or you don't do it as much, it can slow down that momentum. And not that it's like forever or it's permanent, but it might take a little bit to get back into building that momentum back up if you do like slow down or take a break. Or it might require more energy to get things going again. um I feel like she's on the up and up though. Um the Wheel of Fortune here talks about like trying to think more positively, riding the wave of life. Like I may not feel my best this week, but it's okay because this too shall pass, kind of thing. And so I feel like she is thinking more positively than maybe she has the last couple of days. And I think that she's trying to dig into finding her inspiration. I think sometimes we can get down on ourselves. I think no matter how good things are looking from the outside, no matter how well things are going, we can get in these funks, and it's just a part of the human experience. And so I think she's trying to pull herself out of that right now. She intends to return the energy back to you, the energy and the effort that you have been putting into her. She intends on giving it back to you. So even if right now things are a bit quiet, she's coming back around. I see here with the Chariot that there are no obstacles. It says no obstacles will stop me now. So you don't have to worry about any blocks or influences at this time. The overall energy, I think, is just her being a little bit more hermit mode. Seven of Swords kind of talks away where you're kind of sneaking away to be by yourself. You're trying to have some alone time. You're getting back into your shell for a little while to kind of just disconnect. And I think everyone needs that. So I feel like this is temporary. I want to be clear. So I wouldn't get too down on it this week. Wow. Okay. So the first card out is a yes. It says Knight of Cups. We see letting go of things that aren't serving us anymore. So that could be the healing technique. Eight of Cups. Death, transformation, change within your connection. So feeling like something has shifted in a big way. Destiny. Destiny, Wheel of Fortune. I feel with that, it's like, take this chance, do this thing. With the moon here, I also feel like there will be more heart to heart conversations that will be invoked between the two of you and will transpire because the moon talks about like the things we keep hidden, the things that we need to bring up to the surface, things we need to talk about in order to promote that healing. So I think that's really good. This might actually trigger some conversations that need to be had. But as a yes no question, I have Knight of Cups. So I feel like that's a yes. I don't know why I've been feeling I need to give her space, but it's frustrating. It's just stop and go with her. Yeah, I can understand that. You're kind of like, I just want to get this ball rolling, you know? But keep in mind, I did say, was it in January maybe, that this connection will overall be making progress, but there might be some stop and go stuff that happens. And I think you were kind of correcting that with your distance healing. I think making you were making like strides there. But we also have to factor in free will, which is annoying sometimes because a lot of times, like, we feel like, oh, we're doing so good. And then, like, she thinks about something or makes a decision about something, and then that can kind of hinder the connection. So, you can only do what you can, and everything else is going to be up to her. So, you know, exactly. I mean, I feel like you were making big strides and I feel like you were speeding things up very, very quickly, honestly. I felt it for sure. And I still think you are. I don't want you to feel like this is all for naught, but I do feel like when I had said that it's going to overall feel like progress, but there will still be kind of some stop and go here and there. And I feel like that's what we're feeling right now. And I think giving her space is good. It doesn't mean that you're like giving up on the connection. I think maybe this week is just weird for her. Maybe she just needs a little time to herself. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm ready for the time where you and her are able to decompress together, where she doesn't feel like she has to do it alone, where she can do it with you. She can do it in your company. In your company. I'm so sorry. I swear I'm having like an allergic fit right now with my allergies. But, once you get really comfortable with someone, it's like almost like you need them there to decompress. It's like you don't have to be doing the same things over and over and over again, but you're like, oh, I'm going to read a book, you watch some TV, and we're not interacting, but we're in each other's proximity and you're still decompressing, and it's comforting to know the other person is there. But I feel like right now she's not there yet, and I feel like she's like, I still need to be alone, like alone. I want to be on my own. But I'm ready for the time where she feels so comfortable with you that it's almost like she needs you around to decompress because you are home to her and you're her comfort. You'll get there. It's gonna take a while. Yeah, exactly. I'm being impatient. I have to appreciate where things are, know that things are moving forward. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because I feel like that's the other thing, James, like you want to think about is like this time last year would be craving the James that you are right now. The James and Patty that you are right now, James last year would have been like, oh my God, I would love to be there. And so you are. So it's like, I feel like the James from last year would have given anything to be where you are right now. So just keep that in mind, that overall you are making that progress, and don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah. You would sign up for this, exactly. So I feel like your past James, you need to be like, "It's okay, buddy. It's okay, past James. It gets better," you know? And I feel like that's your future self too, telling you now, "It's okay, James. It gets better. It gets better. You just have to trust the process." Um, so yeah. But I think you had another question. Exactly. No contact, no communication. And now think of where you are now. James back then would have chopped off his right arm for this type of interaction and connection with her. So, you know, let's be excited too for where we're at this point, even though it may be frustrating. I think that's just human nature though. I think we all do that. We're always just like, okay, I hit this milestone, but now what's next? And like, we don't necessarily take the time to appreciate exactly. We all do it. We all do it. We're like, okay, I just want them to be my girlfriend. And then it's like, okay, now I want them to be my wife. And then it's like, okay. And it's like, now I want them to have my kids. It's like, at what point are you just going to step back and appreciate for, how far you've come and where you're at? It's like we're always on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. But it's like in comparison, we've actually like grown a lot. We've changed a lot. We've progressed a lot. But that's human nature. Everyone does it. All right, let's take a look. How does she perceive James in comparison to herself? How does she perceive James in comparison to herself? How does she view him? How does she view him? How does she view him? All right, so she's showing Six of Cups reconnection, reconciliation, like kind of like I feel like this is like two things. It's number one, we've known each other before and we're coming back together. So it's like reconnecting with the past, returning to one's roots, so to speak. But I also feel like she's saying, like, he brings me back to center. He brings me home. He grounds me. And I feel like that's important. She's showing me 10 of Cups. So she is showing marriage, okay? She's showing marriage, children, stability, security, alignment. So this 10 of Cups is literally exactly what you want her to say. You said, does she view me as her man, spend a life with her, start a family with her? And that's literally what this card means. This card literally means marriage, family, happily ever after, caring for children together, all that good stuff. Marriage, I think I said that before. So yes, I do think that she views you in that way. And the Three of Wands here indicates like foresight. So she is thinking about the future. She is incorporating you now a little bit into her future plans. But I think that's because she's realizing that she's incorporating you in her future plans. It's like it's triggering her a little bit because she's like, oh shit, what have I gotten myself into? I think that her feelings are much bigger, much more intense for you than I think she realized. And I think it just kind of sneaks up on her sometimes. And that might be why she needs that little bit of a break with you. Not from you, but like a little bit of a break with you. I don't know how else to explain that. Like, I don't think she's taking a break from you. I think she's with you in spirit and in mind and body and all of that. But I think that she's just like, I need to step aside and really process this, because if I don't process it now and I keep pushing it, then eventually I might run away and be scared. I don't want to do that. I want to process how I'm feeling now, and that may require some moments of solitude. But it'll be much more short-lived if I do it when I need to, rather than trying to shove it down and wait. So I feel like because these feelings kind of sneak up on her and suddenly she's like, oh shit, I'm actually including him in future plans. I'm thinking about a life with him. I need to process this. So hold please, you know. But yeah, I think overall she is viewing you as like, wow, you know, we really could have something here. I think that she also perceives you as someone who wants everything with her all at once. And she knows that you're being very patient, but I think that she can sense as well your eagerness to move things along. And I think that she thinks that if she's not the one to take the time to process things, you know, be on her own, take a little solitude, you would just keep going full-fledged, full force. And she's not judging that, but she is saying, if I don't do this for myself, he's not going to. So I need to just make sure that we continue on the same page. And sometimes that's going to require me to take some moments to myself. But I think that when she commits to you, like when that commitment actually does happen, it's not going to be this back and forth, stop and go thing. I think she's going to find a way to adapt to that disconnect and that solitude, but being with you and not trying to pull away from you. During those times, she'll just have her moments to herself, but like around you. You know, she might go to y'all's room, or she might go to the living room, or when you guys are living together, she might go outside and like go to her garden, or I don't know, go to her office. She might like just, but she's going to stay around you. She's not going to run away and pull back from you so drastically. Okay, so James, that is what I've got for you. Hopefully all that resonates. I'm not sure if you're still catching up in the chat, but I'm gonna go ahead and go. I really need to like eat actual dinner and all of that. So I'm gonna sign off, but I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening, and anyone else that's hanging out here, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, James, you said I had some interesting dreams with her the other night. They were good. Ooh, okay. I look forward to it. I was telling Amy earlier today that I don't always get on my Luna Affinity Instagram every day. So if you ever message me and you don't hear from me right away, just know it's because my default Instagram is my personal page, not Luna Affinity. So I'm not ignoring you. I just haven't seen it yet. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.